Oh my gosh, YouTube is constantly censoring the conservatives. You can't tell me that this is not a criminally organized by the left happening, if you will, in Colorado. They are censoring my own comment on my own channel, on my video, is like not showing up. So this is the video I did, right? I uploaded about an hour ago, and it's a conversation I had with Colorado police, who said that yes, they have nonstop complaints about them taking over the apartment, and yet the governor's acting like there's nothing happening there, right? And the chief of police was out there saying that it's not happening. And I'm just like, well, the one who answers the phone, yeah, he said there's like nonstop. So that's what this video shows, that conversation with, recorded conversation with that staff member. And he was very candid. So anyways, I make a reply that disappears. So I'm going to reply again. Okay. So I'd already made a reply and it disappeared. I'm like, YouTube, really? You're going to go on my channel and delete my comments? You can't tell me the conservative Republicans' channels are not under attack. It's crazy. It's like, look, people, it's great if groups are coming out to defend and stand up against this tyranny. That's wonderful. I'm not dissing them if that's even true, that the Hells Angels are coming out there, right? More power to them. But I'm just like, look, America is known for being one of the most heavily armed nations in the world. Constitutional right to own a gun. Constitutional right to defend your land, defend your own home. They can own guns, they can defend their land, and not only that, but they have the unique power of making citizens arrest, make sure it's not a misdemeanor, if they're committing a felony crime. You can not only, and people do, people will trip people, it's running from the cops. They'll the cops actually in one video got mad because somebody didn't try to stop somebody who's running by to help the cops. It's like, no, but literally people have right to citizens arrest. So if you're outnumbered, you got this gang of people in your building, I'm like, okay, well then the community needs to power up, get in them apartment buildings, right, and just show up with rifles hanging over your back. Because people, I don't know, every state's different, right, on open carry, that kind of thing. But there's a lot of open carry states, okay, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Get yourself some guns. And if you're outnumbered, then people need to show up in those apartments, and you need to power up and run them people off. Why are you so dependent on cops? Yeah, you should call the cops, but if they ain't able to get there in time, I'm just like, they got these people on video showing up with rifles, and I'm like, yeah, okay, people, this is America. This is America, y'all. Oh my gosh. Somebody, I'm gonna tell you a story, and you go back and look through my videos. This happened it might have been a couple months ago. Some dude shows up at my door and he's banging the door. Lady, let me in. Lady, let me in. Lady, let me in. And I'm not opening that door because I'm like, first of all, he's trying to tell me there's people coming through the woods trying to kill him. I got security cameras all over my property because I got about an acre, and I'm just like, there ain't nobody out there. And I told him he needs to leave. I said, ain't nobody out there. I said, I guarantee you, if they come up on my property trying to kill somebody with guns, I said, they're going to be collecting bodies. And that's what I said, and I got the cops on 911 while I'm saying this to him, right? This is America. I literally said this to this man. Like, he keeps banging on my door, demanding I let him in. And I'm just like, he was not afraid of nothing. And I'm telling you, before it was over with, that man was down the road, standing in the middle of the road, wasn't afraid of nothing. This man thought he was going to bully me, scare me, or whatever, or manipulate me and trick me or whatever to get in my home. And I let him know, buddy, you don't want to come in my home, right? And there's nothing unchristian-like about that. You have a right to self-defend. Not only that, you have a duty to stand up against violent, evil people who are doing harm to other people. Come on now. This is America. So I can't even post something on freaking YouTube without YouTube coming around and, I've got to monitor these Republicans, these Second Amendment people. Oh my goodness. what on earth is going on? You've got people taking over apartment buildings, and I'm seeing these buildings, and this chief of police out there saying, well, we're out here, we're talking to people, and this ain't happening. And I'm like, oh, she is so lying. I know she's lying now, because at first I was like, well, maybe they're too afraid to speak. Because that's what I said to the police staff on the phone. I was like, well, you know, if you show up and them terrorists see you talking to them, it's like, you know what they say about snitches get stitches or whatever. You got some terrorist, nasty people running that building. You're putting a target on their head, showing up at their door, asking them if there's problems. Dude, for real, put some cameras in there. Go around and arresting people. They got people's faces seen on the camera doing the criminal activities. Some of them was hiding their faces, but they was like, some of them weren't even trying to hide their faces, which tells me this is politically motivated. So they got this court motion in the court where they're going to legally declare an emergency order to evict the entire building, meaning all these people who are legally there, who are victims of terrorist and oppression and tyranny by the local government, are going to be kicked out of the apartment. And like, where are they supposed to go? That's literally what they're doing. They're creating a nuisance, and then they're going to kick people out of the buildings. And so I'm like telling people, look, power up, yo. And then my comments disappear. So let's see. I'm going to keep, you know what, YouTube, whatever, your silly nonsense. They're so monitoring people. Look, guys, this is the law. And see, here we go again. You see what they just did? They literally just deleted my... Kid you not. This is what they're doing. They don't want people to like, duh, yeah, that's right, we got our own power. So they're not letting me to tell people that they have the right, 1, self-defend, 2, own a gun, 2, 3, citizen arrest. Google it. Citizen arrest is legal. I'm not saying anything illegal. I'm not saying anything but, yo, people, know your own knowledge is power. Google citizen arrest. Now, there might be some states that don't allow citizen arrest, so look up your state statutes. We got so much knowledge at our fingerprints. Just open up your phone or whatever device and Google citizen's arrest. Okay? And call your police and say, hey, what's your policy on citizen's arrest? If somebody shows up my gun, or somebody's going around doing stuff with guns, if they show up at your apartment with guns, people, if they are too poor to own a gun or whatever, you know what? People need to help go, and people of the community need to go to these buildings and defend these people and run these people out. And YouTube, I want YouTube to be acknowledged that they are a part of this conspiracy, because look at what they're doing. You saw the comment that I just literally made, and they literally turned right around and deleted it. They're not allowing me to comment on my own video, guys. Oh my gosh. YouTube is so evil. Oh my word, look at this. You can't see my reply. It says there's a reply there. This is what they're doing. Now watch, I'm gonna make another reply. They're gonna do the same thing. Watch. Okay, so I'm making a comment, not in a reply, but just to my own, and I'm gonna pin it too, right? Let me go ahead and pin this real quick. Okay, now let's see if it stays. Yeah, go on YouTube. Clearing out my comments. Okay, so that one stayed. I'm gonna copy this, paste it here. I'm so disgusted with YouTube right now. Oh my gosh. These rascals. Both of my comments disappeared. Did you see this? You see what they just did? Now, it says 2 comments. But now my regular comment and my reply comment disappeared. Unbelievable. YouTube, back off, man. This is America. Come on now. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go to another platform. I'm going to share this. Yeah, man. This needs to be shared globally. If you see this video, please share it. Show what YouTube is doing. They are so, oh my gosh.
Protesting.
Unbelievable, these guys. They're deleting my comments. Look, now it says 1 comment. I can't even comment on my own video. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Okay, I'm taking out the word gun just in case they're like deleting any. Oh, this is crazy. So I say a self-defense device.
I can't believe they're deleting comments off of my own video. That's just crazy. That's crazy. Unbelievable. YouTube, you are horrible. Protest. You are so horrible. What you're doing in America. Stealing the rights of people. Okay, so I took that word out. But I mean, the word gun, it's an American word. Because it is what our divine documents give. They basically make the people of the country a self-governing government force. Our forefathers said you have a republic so long as you can keep it. And I don't want to hear no things about this Christian, can't use violence. Okay, so police should not be going to your house and defending you when they're going in and trying to kill you and rape you. Because, that would be evil. Or what about, soldiers? Now, Jesus himself, when the disciples were carrying a sword, think to yourself, why were they carrying a sword? Why did they have a sword? And when he cut his ear off when they were taking Jesus in, he was like, yeah, you shouldn't do that because it's God's will that I am to be taken in and crucified. That's his will, literally. So don't be going around cutting people's ears off for doing God's will. But why did he have a sword to begin with? Okay, so it's like the Bible says there's a time for war, there's a time for peace. And I'm not advocating violence. I'm like, if you show them that you're not going to run them off, and you're like, oh yeah, you got guns, so do we, and you think you're coming and breaking my house? You show them. America's looking like a mockery right now. A mockery. People are so dependent on police. You should call the police. Okay? But when they show up at your door with a gun, you need to do what you should do. And that is right. You defend your home. You defend your children. And if you're outnumbered and there's more of us, more of them than us, then that's where people in the community need to go to these apartments, fill that apartment up of people with, self-defense devices, okay? And you show them, you're not taking over our building. And meanwhile, since you showed up at my door with a gun, you're now under citizen's arrest. And then, of course, they'll probably run. Well, I guess people are like, well, we don't want a gunfight. We don't want a self-defense to fight, war or whatever. Well, you don't give them money. You don't empower them. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but I just don't have tolerance for weakness, and I apologize that I'm not a hard-spirited person. I guess I'm part warrior. I don't know. And this is not me talking behind my computer like I'm bold. I'm telling you, this is how I react in my own life. I'm telling you, the guy showed up at my door and he was trying to force his way into my home. I told him. I'm telling a crazy man who's trying to break in my house and get in my house, and he was very manipulative because I got 911 and they're got somebody on the way, and as soon as I get off the phone with dispatch, he starts in all over again, trying to trick me again. And he knew who I was. I live way up on a private road, and I'm surrounded by forest, and there's like only 2 people who could even see. How does he know that I live here alone? How does he know I'm here alone? And I'm like, oh, you think you're going to stalk me? And he's going to try to trick me that all these people are coming through the woods or going to come through the woods. It's on my, you can look and see, I did that. I literally did that. I said, I'm telling you now, don't tell me. I said, I've got cameras all over my property. If anybody shows up with guns on my property trying to kill somebody, they're going to become collecting bodies. I said, you ain't scaring me about nothing. I said, and now you need to leave. Yes, I did. And that's how I would deal with these guys if I was there. Yes, I would. And people, this is America. Stop being bullied. People need to go to these communities. Why do we need the Hells Angels? I'm thankful if the Hells Angels even are on their way. I don't know anything about the Hells Angels. I've heard of them. I don't know if they go around helping people. Where's all the militias? Where's all these people? Where's all these, I'm just sad at the state of our country. How many of them are there? Okay, why isn't this community showing up at this apartment complex with their own weapons, their self-defense devices, and, sitting in the apartments and defending these people? I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me when I was in college. I had a guy, and he was violent. He was very violent, and almost killed me on a couple occasions. He attacked me one time. I was in college, and so it was like near the campus, and it was at a bar, and back in my college days, yes, I did. So anyways, and so he attacked me, and bouncers got him and took him out, and he landed on some guy's sports car, and I think he dented his car. But anyways, this guy was so nice. He told me he was part of the mafia. I'm like, I don't know, maybe he was, but he was so determined that he was going to protect me from this man. He didn't even know me. He was just like that kind of person. He's like, I'm going to stay at your apartment, because I stayed in an apartment at that time. I'm going to stay at your apartment. I'm going to make sure this guy didn't show up. And he did. I'm like, he was an angel. He was an angel. He really was. And it's just like the community people. Why is a community of people of an American country that's the most heavily armed country in the world, what's happening to our country? Why is a group of thugs allowed to just take over an apartment complex like this? And I don't want anybody to talk about, this is wrong to even think this way. No, it's not. You don't advocate it. I mean, you don't initiate it. But if they're in their homes and they've got a group of people showing up with guns like I've seen in these videos, I'm like, okay, people, you need to go into that apartment and you need to make a wall of people. Just show up. Just show up and say, yeah, no, this ain't the place. You're not going to take over this building. And you outnumber them. If that's what it's going to take. Whatever. People. This is America. Come on now.